Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shit. Hope you are doing well. I'm doing amazing. I know this type of content is not my usual content, but this season of Love is Blind just has so many lessons in it. I cannot help myself. I just did a previous video about Tim and Alex from Love is Blind and gave my commentary on that. And I asked my viewers, like, do you want me to do a full Love is Blind review? And it was pretty much an even consensus that yes, you did. So here I am. I'm going to give my commentary on these. I'm just going to call them characters at this point from Love is Blind this season. And what I find most interesting about this season is it really speaks to the current dating scene. When we hear people saying, oh my God, the dating pool has pee in it, facts. If you don't just kind of open your eyes and observe what's going on, by now you just don't want to because it's clearly obvious. And the train wreck, the trauma, the toxicity here just needs to be studied. And like I said, so many lessons to be learned here. So I'm going to go ahead and give my commentary on the couples, my commentary on the reunion, and all of the things. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. And before we get into it, can we get into today's look, honey? The looks are being served. If you do not know, I have a Patreon. It is for women only. I do all of my makeup looks, everything like that in the group while I'm doing my makeup, getting my looks together live. I have great girl talk conversations, drop gems, chop up a little bit of game, tap in with us. We have a group chat, a Discord. We have get togethers. We do movie nights. It really is a great supportive system of women that actually want solutions, want to go forward. It is not the place for everyone to tell you that you're perfect and you're so beautiful and you could do no wrong. We are really doing the work over there. So if you are tired of being mean and ugly, come to Death Row, baby. The link will be in my description to join. I also have a second separate Patreon for the fellas and the ladies, and it's a weekly live show called 6 at 6, where I discuss different topics, relationships, social issues, politics, it doesn't matter. And it's a great weekly tap in to kind of, check in with everybody, have a discussion, different current events. So that will also be in the description as well to catch me live once a week, every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Woo! Okay, now that we got that together, we're going to get started. I'm not going to play any audio from Taylor and Garrett portion of the reunion because, to be quite honest, I don't care. What I will say is this, Taylor, I think that you made a terrible decision by deciding to marry into a racist family. If you all clocked it at the reunion, Taylor's parents were there. Garrett's parents were not. If you paid attention to when they met Garrett's parents during the show, if you know anything, you picked up the vibe that these people are like level 10 racist. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't particularly have a problem with that. I do not have a problem with a white woman and a white man saying, I want our son to bring home a white woman, period. I'm all for it. My problem is, Taylor, why would you subject yourself to being in that type of family? I'm sorry. Never am I ever marrying into a family where my race, I have to feel like, are y'all okay with it? Are you cool with it? Absolutely not. It is psychological warfare on yourself as a woman marrying into this family that clearly resents you and doesn't want you there. What happens when you have children? What happens as time progresses and deep down, these people don't like you? They're making all types of jokes about you and dogging you out the second you walk away, Taylor. I hope you understand that. So what I will say, and another thing is, if you get with a man where you are not his normal type, baby, you better get ready for a lifetime of insecurity. Okay? I'll just say that. My bad, John. My baby came home. This is the same way I tell black women, do not date a black man who even, if it has even crossed his mind to actually like wife up a non-black woman. If you see a black man who says, oh, I don't care about the race, I don't care, don't date them. If the black man does not say, oh no, I love black women, I only date black women, do not date him. If he has children with women of other races, if you've seen that he's multiple times dated women of other races, do not get with him, because that is his real type. And the entire relationship, you will constantly be after him, catching him, lusting after, and pursuing what he really wants. Men are hunters in a way that cannot be stopped. Never ever set yourself up to be with a man where you are not what he prefers. End of story. Do not date men who typically do not date your race exclusively. End of story. So Taylor, good luck to you. I mean, you've already caught him texting the white girl he really wants. So, Taylor, God bless you, honey. Good luck with that. I don't got nothing else to say. I'll just say, God bless them. Let's hope for the best. But to be honest with you, it's not giving that. So now I want to move on. Okay, so after Garrett and Taylor, then they bring up Alex and Tyler for the reunion. This is the couple where Tyler told Ashley that he was a sperm donor to 3 children to a lesbian couple. And then one of the lesbians in the relationship abandoned the children. So that was his story. Let them talk, and then I'll give my synopsis after that.
Then everyone wants to chime in.
What are you doing? This that bubble.
Nice. Yeah. I'm gonna get into that. Tyler, you had spoken on the show, and everybody was shocked when you revealed that you had donated sperm to help a friend and her wife have children.
Yep.
And then since then, there has been online chatter about your involvement in these children's life and it being more than you had initially led on. So can you now clarify what's going on with that?
Absolutely. Those kids, that family, they did not sign up for this. So what is happening now is I try to keep that from happening. Their birth certificates are online. Things that shouldn't be happening are now happening. And to get into the story, I did help a friend and her wife start a family, but her wife ended up leaving her and left her high and dry. This was my very close friend. So I voluntarily stepped in and helped. So there's pictures of me around. You'll see me around. I've spent holidays with all my friends, all their kids. And I played a part that became very shaky with a friend. And there's no rule books to this. There's no set lines to this. But I do want to let people know Ashley knows all this. This is news to the world. This has never been news to us. And I'm giving this explanation now because I feel like the world is waiting for it. But I don't owe anyone an explanation but my wife.
Look at his ass stuttering.
And if she's sitting here with me,
we got your back, man.
See, Tyler is why I don't even recommend that of you dating mixed people. And the reason why I say that is Tyler's mother is white. He was raised by a white single mother. I think that what people don't understand, and I said the same thing about T.I. and Tiny's son, that was raised primarily by Tiny's white mother. And mixed men or black men, well, T.I. and Tiny's son is a little bit different, but typically, I'm sorry about my lighting, y'all. It's kind of in and out. Don't mind it. Typically, if a black man was raised by a white woman, guess what? The woman is the first teacher. And what ends up happening is he's, mixed looking or black looking on the outside, but they think like a white woman. They process their emotions like a white woman. They problem solve like a white woman. That's embedded in them. A white woman's voice is their inner voice. Tyler quite literally handles his problem like white women. He produces tears, plays the victim, gaslights. Nobody has seen a level of gaslighting in tears like you have when you try to hold a white woman accountable for her bullshit, baby. You better get ready for the most Oscar-winning performance you've ever seen. So I find it so interesting that Tyler is black looking, but in every ounce of his being, he 100% carries himself like a Karen. Okay. So there is a sister named Storytime with Randy and another sister named Jessie Wu. They ended up collabing on a live stream and they interviewed Tyler's baby mama. Come to find out, this is confusing. Tyler's baby mama is a lesbian who is actually straight but she's just being a lesbian to rebel against her family. Her name is Bri, and her and her wife at the time, they were military. They decide they want a child. But Bri was sneak dicking the whole time. Nothing ruins a relationship more than somebody battling with their sexuality, but bringing a partner into it. Bri is an example of a girl that wants to rebel against her family by being a lesbian because she knows they hate it. But honey, you like men, and you were willing to hurt another person and children, all to cover up your real sexuality, because now you feel like you're just committed to being a lesbian, so you got to just die on the hill. And you've hurt innocent children, as opposed to saying you want to be with a man and just going and doing that. We all know that a man cares about children for as much as he cares about the woman. Once a man is no longer with the woman, he do not care about them kids. Them men be like, man, fuck them kids. I'll make some more kids. I don't give a fuck. That's how they are. They do not have that same unconditional connection to children the way that women do. So Bri is in a lesbian marriage saying that they are going to use him as a sperm donor. They're attempting to do the turkey baster method. She does not become impregnated. All of a sudden, her wife turns around one day and she's pregnant, and it's like, oh, so it worked. Oh, the turkey baster worked. Whole time, this woman was having natural, raw, skeet in you intercourse with this woman. This woman who was married to a woman. Okay? That's y'all baby. So let's say, even if we went with Tyler's story, that the lesbian ex-wife abandoned the children, so be it. Those aren't her kids. Y'all made those kids naturally and in a relationship. She can say them kids if she wants to. The audacity, even if she did leave, so be it. That doesn't change anything. You all conceived those children consensually, naturally, and in a full-blown relationship. Come to find out, Bri herself is also abusive. Another sign of someone battling with their sexuality. Yes, they will abuse the person they with. So Bri was over there beating her wife's ass because she's angry that she like men. Okay, unbelievable. So now let's hear what Ashley got to say before I drag her for filth, because there's a special place in hell for women like Ashley. And let me shut up. Let me just wait until we talk about this, because honey, I got a lot to say. I'm gonna play Ashley's part now.
I'm good. We're good. I'm not gonna keep harping on it. Yeah.
It's funny. Everyone kept saying, I said, a lot in the pods, but not today. I do have some things to say.
Please do.
Starting with, like, who do you think has better insight on what's going on, social media or me? So for people to imply that, like, she was blindsided, she didn't know, is like insulting to my intelligence. That's number one. Number two, for the record, this is something he never wanted to share on camera. I just didn't feel like it would be an authentic experience, or that I could continue the experience if we didn't, because I know me, I cannot hide my facial expression. So I think there would have been a disconnect, and the viewers would have noticed, my friends would have noticed when he went to meet them. So I told him, in some capacity, we have to talk about this. And, you know, there were things he was comfortable sharing and things he wasn't. For example, one time I asked him, I said, do they know what you look like? And he's like, I don't think so. And you could tell that he was trying to lie. Yeah. So of course he divulged that information.
I'm so sorry. Let me say that he was trying to lie for the cameras, but you guys had already had this conversation. See, that's the thing, is we weren't there. We weren't there for a couple other things we'll get to later. Hey, Steven.
Thanks.
But you guys had this conversation, and I see that the next day for cameras, you're trying to clarify because you want to be authentic, but also you're trying to protect him and these children.
The very thing that we didn't want to happen happened. And the thing with humanity is we have a hard time understanding anything that we don't get, anything that's taboo, anything that's out of our norm. And that's exactly what's happening. Instead of trying to rationalize, like, maybe this was hard to navigate, right? And for me, I just know Tyler and his heart to know that had to be a hard to navigate with a friend. Way easier when you're removed. And with him growing up in a single parent household, and in that scenario when that happened with the divorce, it was very hard for him to
remove himself and not be involved when this is now a single mom, right? So that was hard for him. And I just know that he is a good person who went in a little too deep and didn't know what to do next.
This is not a game. This is till death do us part. And we mean it. You can try. We've seen all the get an annulment, be done with him. Ask Ashley.
And it's like, look, when I said I do to all of it. I was aware and I took on what I wanted to. And this is a once in a lifetime kind of love. Yeah. This is a rarity and it's something that is worth risking anything for. And, you know, I ain't saying do nothing crazy.
No.
I'm just saying, you know, let's not get nuts. But, you know, this is something that I knew, of course, if I listened to the public, I could go find a man. I can pop myself a little bit.
No, you can't. She can't find him.
I wanted to, but this is something that I would never find again. And it's worth it all.
We're just so grateful for your love, and watching it the whole season was giving me.
Please shut up. Anyway, now Ashley, let me tell you about girls like her. Girls like Ashley, they will sit and see what a man has done to the previous woman. And instead of taking note of that pattern, because 9.9 times out of 10, whatever he did to the last woman, oh, he's going to do it to you too. I don't know how many examples of this that we see. Women like Ashley enjoy getting their ego stroked by a man coming to them saying, oh, you know, with her, it wasn't even that serious. It was just a little thing that went a little bit too far, but she ain't got nothing on you, baby. I'm with you. We forever. We locked in. Girls like Ashley eat that stuff up. They get uber focused on that ego stroke, and honey, it's like heroin in their veins. Every time he put her above the ex-girl, she's like, I'm winning. Even to the point where innocent children become a casualty of war. Imagine being those children growing up later and having your father refer to you as a little situation that went too far. My God, today Jesus wept. My God, today, Hyundai, coming to Honda, Tesla. Imagine those children. But for your own ego stroke, for you to be able to say that you married and say, my man, you said, fuck them kids. When in reality, Tyler is broke. He is a liar. He is a raging narcissist. This man has 3 children. No woman should be entertaining him. He has no capacity for another woman. He cannot afford it. It's so interesting how it's so easy for society to look at a woman that has children and be like, girl, you got 4 kids, honey. You got to stay with that man. Ain't no man going to be with you. But why can a man be broken homeless with 3 children and actually have another woman entertain him? Most women, if they sit and walk away from a man they got 3, 4, 5 kids with, other men will stick together to collectively say, honey, we are not sitting here and picking up the bill for all these 3, 4, 5 kids. The men won't do it. 9 times out of 10, a woman will leave and got 3, 4 kids. Ain't no other man remarrying her. Only in the hood does that happen. So why is it that women don't have the same collective common sense to say, hell no, I'm not marrying no man that's broke with 3 kids already? I always use the example of one time I think it was Xfinity Wi-Fi, and I wanted to switch to AT&T. I was so done with Xfinity. I was like, y'all can go to hell. I ain't paying y'all else. Goodbye. So I tried to say, then I tried to go to AT&T. AT&T was like, when you clear that balance with Xfinity, we'll give you some service. I said, ooh. And they would not activate my service until they paid Xfinity. And I said, you know what? What if women had that level of common sense as to say, listen, sir, you're like 30 grand behind in child support. You got 3 kids already. You can't afford them. You're broke. You ain't got no money. You don't lie about your employment 100 times because you Tommy from Martin. Ain't nobody actually going to entertain you. But no, a woman will see a man with multiple children, done every woman in his past wrong, and you will sign up because you cannot wait to be the exception to stroke that ego. Women like Ashley, I hope you understand the same way that he is suppressing and downplaying his relationship with the previous woman, you do know you next, Ashley. Ashley, let me tell you how your story ends. Your story ends with Tyler finding a new supply with more money than you, because men like Tyler are homosexuals. They only get with women who have some type of money, some type of benefits, because a huge way to tell when a man has a personality disorder or mental issues a lot of times is his inability to keep stable income or keep a stable job. Men like Tyler will always jump for the next big fish of the woman that they feel will give them more, contribute to them more, etc. So if and when Tyler finds his next big fish, Ashley, you do know that his story to the next woman will be, yeah, that was just a little reality show I was on. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to, get a little bit of clout. I was trying to, be on the show. It wasn't nothing serious. You know what I'm saying? This man had 3 children, 2 of whom are twins with this woman. Brought 3 lives into the world, all in pictures, having Merry Christmas and shit. And reduced that down to a little situation that went too far. Ashley, when that man cheat on you, leave you for another woman, and he tell that woman it was just a little reality show. It wasn't for real. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to be on the show, trying to promote myself. It wasn't nothing like that. And you know what's so funny? The sisterhood will be there ready to hold Ashley's hand and stroke her and say, oh my God, how could he do that to you? Now, these bitches be like, we don't like Sixthegoddis. I know y'all don't like me. I understand, because all that coddling, all that women lining up for the slaughterhouse, and then we're all supposed to sit and hold her hand and be like, oh my God, girl, I'm so sorry for that happened. I'm not doing that. I would sit back like, as he should. If and when her time come, when she get played, I would be like, fuck you. I'm stepping over your dead body. I don't give a damn, bitch. Cry me a river. You saw all this coming. I don't know what to say. But it's like women will sit there and hold the hand of other women who are clearly self-destructing or moving in ego. I'm not doing that. And that's why y'all don't be liking me, because I'm not finna sit there and feel bad for y'all when y'all be demonic in your actions. Because actually, for your father to not be there for you, for you to see what your mother went through, and for you to sign up to be, I hate nothing more than his ex just mad ass bitch. You hoes that date men with children and the man be like, yeah, she won't let me see my kids. You know what I'm saying? She be tripping. Sixthegoddis to you all, because y'all love to sit up in these men's face. Get out of another woman's pussy. Let's just start there. You was not there when they made them kids, the same way he's sitting here with you talking about this is forever. I love her. You do know he did the same thing to her. And girls will get with a new man who is remotely cute or have a little bit of peen for them and be like, oh, y'all, she's just jealous. She's just jealous because I'm here. I'm so amazing that this woman is just crashing out because I came into the picture, y'all. Don't mind her. Like, y'all will really sit there and do that. So, Ashley, when your time comes, I hope y'all hoes do not sit and coddle her. I hope y'all do not sit and feel bad for her. I hope that y'all let her die on her sword. I hope this is a lesson that she can learn. I hope she don't take the normal method of dying on the hill and acting like she did nothing wrong. Hopefully she's able to learn from this when her time comes, because trust and believe it's coming, baby. So this is super gross. The amount of lies here is crazy. Apparently Tyler was having orgies with men who like to see other men sleep with their woman. I don't care what nobody say. A man that will have intercourse with a butch lesbian is gay. I don't care. If a man, I don't care if that's still a woman. I don't care if she's still got a vagina. I do not care. If a woman can be over there sagging like this, I'm like, what up, bro? Like, how does that even happen? Did a butch lesbian be like, what up, bro? You trying to hunch? All right, my nigga, cool. All right, bro. All right, cool, cuz. Meet me in about an hour at the hotel. Like, that is so gross. How would the man, if he's truly heterosexual in his masculine energy, how is there even any polarity there to become attracted? unless you the feminine one and she the masculine one. And that's why y'all able to still work out, because two masculine energies never work. Even in gay couples, somebody is the femme and the mas. So if the man is attracted to a butch lesbian, you the feminine one, you the bottom. So Tyler, we see you, baby, but we know what narcissists like you supply is supply. It could be man, woman, black, white, it don't care. Whoever validates you and make you feel seen, we know you going for it, boo. So enough about them. Now, who was next? Who was next? Let's see. Lord, next up is Marissa and Ramses. Lord, I'm letting y'all know right now, I got a lot to say. Let me play their little segment first. Then I'm going to give my commentary because, baby, there are so many things. Here we go.
But there was one big red flag when Ramses called everything off. Hey, Marissa.
Hi.
Watching you go through that moment on our television was really hard. How was that for you to watch?
I felt like I was reliving it. God, I'm such a
It's okay to
It was hard because I just like remember what it felt like. So it could just be hard to kind of see that and just relive it pretty much. I felt like my heart was breaking all over again. Yeah.
Ramses, how is it for you reliving that moment and watching that moment over again?
It was difficult. I didn't come into this experience wanting to devastate anyone or leave anyone heartbroken. I was came in here looking for the love of my life, and for majority of this experience, I thought I had found it in Marissa, and so watching it back was difficult. I had to pause several times because I hadn't seen her reaction. Once she was alone in her interviews, and just seeing how she was falling apart was very difficult to watch back.
You mentioned for a majority of this experience, you thought you had found that. Can you walk us through what that was that derailed that for you?
Yeah, so for me, once we got into that latter portion of the experience, I basically started to recognize how far of a space there was in our energy, and how there wasn't that balance that I sort of felt in the pods. And there was one day where I think it just really hit home for me. And I realized and recognized that if I move forward with Marissa, every day I would be in a place where I would feel exhausted and overwhelmed. I don't want to change who she is. She deserves a person and a love that will embrace who she is fully as she is. I just felt that person couldn't be me.
Hey, Vanessa. How you doing?
Okay.
Is this the first time that you've seen Ramses?
Vanessa is Marissa's mother, for those who don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything
Well, no, the day that she called, when everything was called off, I was on my way for the wedding, and everything was called off, and she was upset. And of course, I'd do anything for her, so I did go up there and speak to him, even though I wanted to punch him in the throat and try to talk him into, see what was wrong. And I'm thankful he called it off. I am. She would have carried that relationship. And so he did the right thing. And I thank you for that. That first out, he should have been honest and man enough to tell her I'm feeling a little bit of doubt, instead of reassuring her every single time she asked him. She really felt like when she came into this experiment, she was going to meet her one, and she thought you were it. And you broke her. I had to help pick her up. She was devastated. Devastated. You didn't see that part. You got to walk away and cry like you were the one that was hurt.
Yeah, no, you're correct. I should have been more forthcoming about those concerns I had earlier on. I didn't bring them up because I wasn't sure in the moment if it was going to become an issue for us or not. It took time for me to arrive at that place.
But you see, I didn't have like a say, right? Because everything you just said was like, I this, I that. It's like we're a partnership. It's like
if you're tiptoeing about my feelings, like I don't have a say in like how we can better and grow as in a relationship.
No, I understand. And I take full accountability for the fact that I didn't bring this up sooner. And that's, if I have any regret for this in this experience, is not being more forthcoming about that with you. And not to take away from the pain that you felt, but it was difficult for me as well. I saw us having a future, and I saw what it could potentially be. But unfortunately, I came to that realization towards the end of this experience, and it just made for a very sort of heartbreaking situation.
Marissa, can I tell you something? You're beautiful, and your energy is beautiful.
Okay, we don't care. All right, listen to me. This is something that I don't think that people understand. And what needs to be understood is prior to getting married, okay, the purpose of dating, the purpose of engagement. Let me break this down. You start out with dating. Dating is, you're out and about, you're at a library, you're at a club, you're at the movies, whatever. You meet someone, you exchange information, okay? You have some phone conversations. Maybe you meet up in real life. The purpose of this stage is to ask those questions that are important. Things about marriage, children, religion, geographical location. That's the point. Once you decide, okay, we are aligned when it comes to purpose, morals, and all those things, then you enter into a courtship. And the courtship is AKA an engagement to say, all right, this will show us what marriage would be like together. Okay, this is the point. We need to focus on each other. It's like buying a house. A house is for sale. You put in an offer. Dating is you're still with the realtor searching different properties. Then after you find the property you like, you then put an offer in. That is courtship. Courtship is, I'm putting in this offer. I want to be with you permanently. I want to be with you long term. You then start the closing process, where now they put a sign up where it says pending. That is engagement. And then after you get married, that's when it's sold. The sign comes down and you sign the paperwork. Until you close on that house, until that ink dries, you do not own that home, and you are able to pull out. No pun intended when talking about Ramses. But anyway, y'all were at the pending stage. You had not signed that paperwork yet. And just like in buying a home, if at any point you have the inspector come in and he say, hey, listen, this thing going to need a new roof in about 3 months, and it's going to cost $40,000. You're able to say, oh, never mind. If you're not going to take the price down, if you won't fix it prior, I don't want the deal. You're allowed to do that. It is the same thing in dating until you sit there and, y'all, please excuse my dog and his noises. Until you sign that paperwork, that person is allowed at any point to say, this does not align with what I want. If that person gathers information prior to that ink drying, you're supposed to say, okay, I found information, or I had certain realizations that I realized we are not compatible. You're supposed to call it off. Multiple times in this season, the women were saying, well, why would you take it so far if you weren't sure? Why would you meet my dad if you weren't sure? Why would you still be here? Nobody, everyone is sure until they're not. What do you mean? Stop demonizing someone because they've realized something or come to a conclusion and said, you know what? This is not what I need long term. Now, that's how this typically goes. Now, when it comes to Ramses and his situation, Marissa, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, but you need to read between the lines in what Ramses said. Is it just me, or am I bring back toxic masculinity, bring back homophobia, bring it back? We have come into this era where niggas can be so gay and we're all supposed to play dumb and turn into Stevie Wonder like we don't see it. We've seen from celebrities, athletes, we've seen them. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all when I knew that we were doomed. When that photo of Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors came out and they were doing romantic, intimate couples poses, and you niggas was like, Oh, what's wrong with that? So they gay. So when black men kill each other, y'all cool with that. But when they love on each other, it's a problem. Okay. And then I said, and even women were saying the same thing. Oh, they're not gay. That's not a gay pose. They're just showing each other love. So if you are saying that there is no intimate undertone to that photo, then that would mean you'd be okay with me taking a picture with your man like that, right? Since there's no romantic undertone to this pose, then if you saw a woman taking a photo with your man that way, you'd be fine with it, right? You'd be fine with your man taking a photo with a woman with his hands around her arm, with his head on her shoulder, holding her like this. You'd be cool with that, right? All of a sudden, the women then understood what an intimate pose was, because now the thought of a woman taking a picture with your man like that, it was like, oh, that's too much. So if it would be too much for your man to take a photo with a woman with his head on her shoulder, holding her like this, like a couple, how is that okay for two men to do? It's the same romantic undertone. And that's the moment that I knew we're going down. Men know other men very well, and men know that men are gross, especially when it comes to sexually. This is why men have always kept a very tight ship on, if you do that, you gay. Oh, you gay. And men have used to always be very quick to make you wear that gay label if you tried it. Back in my day, a man couldn't come to school with his nails painted. A man couldn't wear no purse. A man couldn't wear makeup. Now you got men saying, it's because I paint my nails don't mean I'm gay. It's because I hold other men like this and take photos don't mean I'm gay. Now I see why men were so strict about the gay stuff. Now I see. Because men even knew, men are gross. You got to keep them with strict lines. If you even make them think that they can play in booty too, they will. Okay. And now it has manifested into what this is present day, where there are so many men who are clearly gay. It's so clear. And yet we're all supposed to say, well, we don't know. Well, don't be homophobic. Well, if he didn't say it, we can't say it. Hell no. Women have got to stop demonizing a man for when he's just not that into you for whatever reasons. Also, if a man is not into you, please do not internalize it. Rarely does it necessarily have anything to do with you. 9 times out of 10, that man is battling his own demons. Marissa, read the room. When Ramses said, with my ex-wife, I realized I did some things and had some things going on that really ruined her, ruined my marriage. I don't want to make that same mistake again. Girl, the man is saying I'm gay. I was in a relationship with a man the whole time and it ruined my marriage. I'm still in a relationship with that man and I don't want to do it to you too. Like her mother said, he did her a favor. She should have been grateful that he spared you from being his beard. This is Ramses' best friend. I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm actually a licensed cosmetologist and barber. Okay. And as a professional in hair, when I saw Ramses' best friend, the first thing I noticed is this man has outre butterfly locks in his head. This is why he has this scarf on, so you do not see where they are crocheted into his head. I'm going to play this little clip so y'all can see some of his mannerisms. Sweetie, some men that you see be single for extended periods of time, some men that you see where they just cannot make it work with any woman. No matter what, they can never make it work. Those men where they're single for so long and everyone's like, when are you going to settle down? When are you going to get with someone? Y'all, he's already with someone. He's with a man. And the reason why he can't make it work with a woman, the reason why he's still single is because he's actually not single. He's actually in a relationship with his boyfriend. This is the perfect example with Ramses. This is his real boyfriend. So this was some of their interaction. I don't know where the volume is. Let me make this bigger. Okay, that's about as big as it's going to get. I don't know where the volume is, but it doesn't even necessarily matter. But look at the friend. This is the most, I wish I could hear the audio so you could see the friend's soft spoken voice. Look how he bucking his eyes and looking at him. These two are lovers. And for the love of God, I am so tired of this. Listen, if this is what you do, Ramses, just come out. Nobody cares. You're causing more pain. You're causing more issues by being in the closet and wasting people's time than simply coming out. This reminds me the same thing with Kendall from Love Island. I could not believe that Kendall was quite literally bent over on all fours with his back arched better than mine, with his bald, waxed asshole in the air, taking photos like that to send to men to hook up on Grindr. And when he got exposed for being gay, nobody made that the real issue. Instead, people were like, oh my God, how could someone leak his nudes? Excuse me? And then, forgive me, I don't remember what the girl's name is he matched up with. I want to say her name was Andrea. Do not quote me on that. Andrea came out and was like, so no one's going to check on me? And everybody came down on her like, oh, he just got outed. He just got revenge porn and you're not supporting him. And I'm sitting there like, this man is gay and did not disclose that to her and had sex with her. Yes, she's the one we need to be looking for. Yes, she's the one we need to feel bad for. So we're going to ignore the fact that this man is gay and DL and never disclose it. We're going to ignore the fact that this man is sending his asshole through Grindr and sit and say that she should have supported him because his nudes got leaked. Instead of saying, sir, why were you so disgusting as to not tell this woman that you are gay? And that's why Kendall hates Black women, because he is gay. I keep telling y'all, the correlation between Black men who are appalled by Black women and homosexuality needs to be studied. People be like, I don't know if he gay or if he just like white girls. Facts. At what point do we begin to see the pattern and come to the conclusion? So Marissa, how were you crying and upset? I was so disgusted to see how weak you were in this situation. And let me tell you about girls like Marissa. Marissa represents the liberal, free-spirited girl. I want you all to remember, in the beginning of the season, she was so pro-sex. It's just sex, yeah. And I love to have sex. Let's have sex and sex. And then a lot of people don't understand, girls like that, they're battling spiritual warfare. Okay? And they be so pro-sex. It's just sex. I can have sex with who I want. Sex. It's no big deal. Those are the women who be the most broken inside, to the point where if and when the inevitable discard happens, you're having a full-blown panic attack. But I thought it was just sex. I thought it wasn't that serious. Women like Marissa need to be more honest with themselves. Some of y'all need to stop telling yourself that you're able to just have these casual hookups, casual sex. Marissa jumped in bed with him as fast as she could. And you make it seem like you're just jumping into bed on a whim, just casual. I have no expectations, but you do. Because those are the women who always end up in tears, having panic attacks, broken down, if and when it doesn't lead anywhere. Whereas women who are more selective and hold back more sexually, if and when a man acts a fool and wants to walk away, which rarely ever happens, you can leave. I know my value. You don't want it, somebody else definitely will. You don't feel devastated and broken as you do when you lead with hypersexuality, thinking. Marissa would quite literally say things to Ramses during the filming like, you better come over here. Do you want to have sex or not? And another thing women need to understand, no matter how good your vagina is, there's gooder. So many women have this attitude like, oh, he over here, he love it here. This thing's so good. It's really not. And there's really several other women who also coming with that thing. It's women out here with big oxtail, big meaty coochies that squirt Zephyr Hills, spring water everywhere. Every time you turn around, there's actually lots of good pussy out here. So when women feel like, I'm just going to put this thing on him and, ooh, he going to love it here. He's actually not. He actually probably has 2-3 other girls in his rotation that also got that good oxtail coochie as well. You better believe it. You know, these women out here, they coming with it. All right. And once again, it's chasing waterfalls in that female ego. She admitted, like, I'm delusional. Well, that's cute and all until it's not. It's cute and all until it has you crying, literally begging for this man. Because Ramses don't put that bisexual freaky thing on you. That's what that is. Okay. And now, some women, they say I'm delusional. It's not delusion. It's ego. It's audacious ego that gets you put in nothing but the worst positions. It made me sick to my stomach to see how she begged that man. And when I watched her beg that man, I said, damn, that body count is high as that body count is high as a kite. Because a lot of women do not understand, every time you have intercourse with a man, it is him that's getting a healing. It is him that is taking a piece of you. So you can try to jump into bed with men quick and think that your coochie is just so good and so one of a kind that you'll be able to get your way. And you quickly get humbled to realize, nah, baby, that ain't the case, honey. That ain't the case. And so it seems like Marissa is spread completely thin. You can tell she jumps in to bed with men all the time, thinking it's going to get her somewhere, thinking it's going to put her above people. And as we can see, it never does. So I just want this situation with Marissa to be somewhat of a cautionary tale for women to stop thinking, number one, that just because a man has come to a certain distance with you, that means that he's committed, that he has to stay with you. He is not committed to where he has to stay with you until you've jumped over that broom. Stop demonizing them. It's already hard enough. Most men already will not just say, hey, I don't like you. You're not my cup of tea. It's over. Most men will not do that. Okay. Most of the time, that's what they will do. Oh, well, I'm not really cool with this. I'm not really cool with that. The minute I'm going to put y'all on some game. Whenever a man presents a problem to you, it means something else. When Ramses would come to her like, I don't like that you was in the military. That's the sign. This man is just trying to get rid of you. The minute a man presents you with a problem and not a solution, as a woman, you need to be like, okay. Oh, I don't like that you were in the military. Oh, I don't like that you don't want to take birth control. And then what? Now, see, a man that really likes you, a man that actually wants to be with you would say, I don't like that you were in the military. Going forward, can we agree that you will not go back? Can we agree that we will not push that career for our children? You see what I'm saying? But when the man just presents the problem, I don't want you on birth control. I don't want you on birth control. No, I want you on birth control. I don't want to use a condom. And you say, birth control is bad for me. I don't want to take it. And he's just like, oh, well, I don't like it. He don't like you. If a man really liked you, he would say, hey, we need to figure out a thing, something that we could do for contraception. Let's go to the doctors and explore our options. Let's do some research and see what we could do. That's what a man who want to be with you. If he does present a problem, trust and believe he's also presenting the solution. Nope. Listen to me. Now y'all do this information if you want to. If a man is in front of a woman that he truly likes, he never wants to look so weak as if there be a problem that he can't solve. So when a man presents you with a problem and no solution, he doesn't like you because he doesn't care if he looks weak in front of you. That is a pro tip. So we can stop having all this pump and dump going on. Marissa, stand up and close your leg. That's what you need to do. You need to stand up, close your legs. And I'll be honest with you, you also need to stop carrying your mother's weight. Women like Marissa who have mothers like the mom she has, you have to be careful, because if you do not rebuke your mother and create your own story, you end up taking up where your mother left off. you inevitably become your mother as a woman anyway. And a lot of women are trapped in that, but that's my mom. Just because that's your mom, just because you love her, in no way, shape, or form does that mean that you have to desire her reality or her outcomes. And women like Marissa, in my opinion, you're carrying a lot of your mother's weight. Your mother has failed over and over with men. And you need to start your own new path. Your mama got 5 baby daddies. Ma'am, clearly legs open all the time is not the life path for y'all. Your mother has had her legs open for how long with all these different baby daddies? It never worked out. So sometimes if you see what your mother did and you see the outcome it came with her, you need to be actively and avidly doing the opposite. Marissa, you just need to calm down. You need to sit down. You need to close your legs and you need to relax. You reek of desperation. You are hyper. You just need to chill. You're doing too much. That would be my advice to Marissa. Good luck, girl. I don't know what to tell you, but honey, this man is 100% gay. And Ramses, you know you dead wrong for not just living your truth. And I think that's the real reason why we never met any of your family, because your family probably got the real tea on the fact that you like dick. Let's move along. Lord help us. Next is Hannah and Nick. Now, I have an unpopular opinion about these two that I'm going to share. But before I share that, let's just go ahead and listen to some of their portion. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about them. I don't have too much to say, but I have a few things that I need to talk about. Here we go.
So, in looking back now and watching it, you were very direct. And I just wanted to know if, looking back now in hindsight, do you think I'm glad I did that and, we didn't end up working out? Or were you thinking maybe I was a little too direct?
Yeah, I think my personality is I'm very to the point. I'm very direct. That's just who I am. I'm very blunt. And sometimes my delivery does not come out how I think it's coming out. I think I'm just like telling you exactly how it is, but really I just sound like a bitch. You know what I mean? So I just have to be a little bit careful. And like, I'm aware though, even when we film, I'm aware that like, I need to chill sometimes. Like I need to like not be so direct. So the things that I said were all true, but it's just the way that you say it.
How does that make you feel, Nick, to know that she's saying, yes, I stand by everything I say?
I wouldn't have expected her to say anything less. She's entitled to her opinion, and I certainly respect her. And I just think some things came across not completely true. I know she felt that way, but the delivery could have been a little bit better. And I was a little confused with some of the things that she was saying.
Like what?
We weren't on the same level intellectually, financially literate, respectful. I feel like just watching it back, like, she would tell her friends, part of the reason why, I'm in love with Nick is because he treats me the right way and he's respectful. And then when we broke up, I wasn't respectful. And it's just some things like that you kind of watch back. And like I said, Hannah's entitled to, her perspective and her opinion. I just saw it a little bit different.
Nick demonstrated a lot of patience that I never would have had. So I'm very, very impressed by that.
Oh, Garrett, shut up.
I knew he's a good dude, but I was.
We don't give a damn.
For sure. I guess he had a lot of patience. Yeah, that makes sense.
So you don't have any, in watching it, I don't want to use the word remorse because I never want to take away from your independent strength, but in watching the way that it was delivered, and I know that you said you could have worded it differently, do you have anything you want to say to Nick about how you were communicating with him during your engagement?
I'm just direct. I'm very direct. It's harsh. It's bad. I know. This past year I've worked on it. Watching it back, I see like you could have said a lot differently, but that's inherently who I am. And like, I am direct. I just need to work on how direct I am. But yeah.
I'll be honest with you. When it comes to Hannah, was she a little outrageous in some of the things she said? Yes. But I too am a direct person. I dislike, like, if you beat around the bush, if you tiptoe with me, that aggravates me so bad. Like, I enjoy, like, hey, this is this. Hey, that is that. Like, that really works for me. I can't handle myself when you're trying to get things done. You're trying to come to a solution. You're trying to make something happen. And we got to spend so much time like, well, that's the way you said it. You're telling, man, that we got things to do. Grow up. You get what I'm saying? So I will say this. Was Hannah a little bit out of control in some of the things she said? Yes. But I ain't gonna lie. I appreciate a woman that can stand on business and be like, that's what I said. That's what it was. And let's take it a step further. Someone like Nick, he don't deserve that level of respect. Nick is a loser. I truly do not understand how people fall for the okie doke. I am so appalled by how everyone is like, poor Nick. This is why he is the way he is now, a grown man with extreme levels of arrested development, because everybody is so busy feeling bad for him. Nick is a grown boy. Okay. And when you are a grown male operating as a child, I'm sorry, but yeah, she can talk to him like that because he deserves it, because you're a child. You're 28 years old and you don't even pay your own phone bill. Get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So the way Hannah was talking to him, I was like, was it right? No. But when you're a 28-year-old man living in your mom's basement, not even paying your own phone bill, yeah, women are going to talk to you like a child. Nick is the epitome of a man who peaked in high school, was popular in high school. Those be the worst guys after high school because they are so used to that attention. You don't have to really achieve too much in high school to be that dude. Long as like you play a little football and you halfway cute, you that dude. It's like Nick is so used to that gratification, that validation, that now that he's a grown man and he cannot rely on kicking a football and have everyone say, ooh, you're the man. He can't figure it out. And the most he's been able to do is sit in his parents' freaking basement. So it's like, everyone's like, poor Nick. That's a grown man. If she talking to you crazy in a certain way, leave. But the reason why Nick did not leave is because Nick literally came on this show to be admired and to get coochie. Nick's goal for coming on this show, I knew when he first saw Hannah and she looked like a giant wombat and he still acted like, when they had the reveal, he literally hung his head like, damn. But when he looked back up, let me suck it up, the cameras are rolling. This man clearly is here to just look like the good guy. It was so obvious, okay? Because no grown man allows certain things. He was literally, his only goal was, I got to look like the good guy here. I don't want to look like an a-hole here because if I look like an a-hole, I won't get all of the ass that comes after these shows. It was so clear to see. And he tried so hard to play this role of like, oh, woe is me. Look how she's treating me. Oh my God. Look how she's doing to me. Boy, then leave. You want this. You're loving taking this abuse so everyone can be like, oh my God, poor Nick. I've been saw through it. Nick ain't shit. Nick is a child. He's a shitty person. He's a child. He's a little boy. Fuck him. He deserves everything that came to him. You don't like it? Be a grown man. Step up and take care of yourself. There is no reason why no man at 28 years old should be having his parents paying his phone bill still, off principle. So you want to act like a child, you get talked like a child. And let me find this part. I'm gonna play the clip where he tried to sit up there and lie, hoping that some type of bro code would save him. He tried to lie and say that he never said anything bad about Hannah. So you were running around to all your little homeboys who then pillow talked to their women about how you was calling her a grenade. You did not think she was attractive. And then instead of just saying, yes, I did not think she was attractive, you tried to lie. And what you wasn't expecting is for the bros to break code and be like, yeah, nigga, you did say that. You did call her a gorilla. You did call her a grenade. I mean, then he was sitting there like, okay, I did say she was underwhelming. Stop it. Stop it. Then, matter of fact, let me just play the clip and then I'll talk about it. So this is the part where he gets confronted about Hannah finding a note that he wrote in his notebook or something, talking about his plans for the show. Listen.
It's right before filming.
Yeah, like it was a very Nick note. It was like there's 3 entries. So one goes, he wants to sell 2 homes this year. Okay. He wants to be in the best shape of his life in the next 2 weeks. And then the third bullet point, which was by far the most interesting, was that he wants to be the most famous person ever on Love is Blind. I was like, oh, okay, it all fucking makes sense now.
Do you remember writing that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's right. It all makes sense. That's why you was sitting there not even fighting back. That's why you was sitting there not even just sitting there playing the victim. Everything she said, you're just like, yeah, because you wanted to be the poster child for, oh, poor Nick. You wanted all that sympathy, coochie. You wanted everyone to just feel bad for you. So freaking narcissistic. So you wrote down, I want to be the most famous person on Love is Blind. So narcissistic. My God, today. Just wanting everyone, you're just literally trying to just harvest sympathy from everybody as a grown man. What grown man harvests sympathy? Red flag. And he got called out. Now watch him go to stuttering.
I want to set the record straight. I write 90-day goals. At that date was the end of my 90-day goals. When I'd written it, it was 3 months before that. I was with my friend. He got me into doing these 90-day things. He's like, you got to get into this stuff. And I didn't know what to write down. And, he was just like, write down anything. So I was like, okay.
Battery low.
Oh, shit. Sorry, y'all. Hold on.
10.
Let me charge this thing. 1 second. All right, let me let him finish.
10 homes by that time. And, be famous off Love is Blind. That was way before I even knew I was going to be on the show. Way
2 weeks before.
That's the date. It's a 90-day thing. So I write the finishing date as that. So that was way before I even knew I was going to be.
Sir, it wouldn't even matter. It wouldn't matter because if you're going on a show for love, the goal should be to find my wife on this show. To sit there and say, I want to be the most popular person on Love is Blind. Stop it. Stop it. That means you did not go into this show to find love, to find a wife. You came here for attention for yourself. You came here for people to like you and give you validation. You came here for supply. You came here because you are just dying to relive your high school glory days. Then just say that, Nick. Stop trying so hard. Anyone who tells you they're such a good person, they're not a good person. It was like 5 times during Nick's monologue here that he tells you how he's such a good guy. Stop it. This is so gross. What a creep.
On the show, I was taking it super light. We had been through a couple interviews. I would never sit there on camera and say I love you 100 times to someone if I didn't mean it. I was super genuine. I think everyone up here, I guess except Hannah, would say I'm the same dude from start to finish.
And me.
I mean, yeah, I would expect you to have your girls back.
Not only that, Nick, but how some of us come onto this experience serious about finding love.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter if it's a 90-day date, a year date, I think writing down that you want to come on the experience to be the most famous person on Love is Blind, it's like a slap in the face to some of us. Some people who weren't able to come onto the experience.
Yeah.
So it's like, I know that you were a good person when I knew the pods, but then you hear about these things and you're like, what were you here for?
It was so irrelevant and meaningless to me. That's why I left that notebook on our counter every single day we lived together. I knew it was in there, and if she wanted to look through it, fine. But I felt like Hannah knew how I felt. I was telling her I loved her. She met my family. I lived with her. I was taking it extremely serious. I wouldn't have been on the show if I wasn't.
I think they're just,
And that's how you tell a toxic red flag. But I'm here, aren't I? I'm here. How pompous and arrogant do you have to be like, none of that can be the case because I'm here, right? You're welcome. Okay. I'm into it, right? Because I'm present. I mean, I was sitting here, aren't I? Like, are you joking? Stop.
to Marissa's point, and maybe to Hannah's, and we've had this on other seasons before where we question people's genuine reasons for coming here.
That's not me at all.
I think Nick is a very calculated person.
I agree.
To hear the things that he was saying behind my back after the reveal, I was just honest. I'm an honest person. Nick, to be honest, I did feel like I was a foot taller than you in that situation. I'm not a foot taller than you, but I felt like that in that moment. And if that's what I did, it seems ugly as anything, and I'm getting hate for that. But meanwhile, I hear that he's saying stuff after the deal, calling me your grenade and calling me ugly, and all these people are saying that he's saying all these things behind my back. But then when he gets on camera, he's like, Hannah's just so amazing, and everything she does is so perfect. And it's like,
facts. I don't understand this. Is it just me? Am I the crazy one? Everyone is like, oh, Hannah's so terrible. I mean, she a little bit bitchy, but she's right. I don't understand that. There might have been a reason she was treating his ass like that, because she knew he's full of shit. She's right. You know, he did exactly that. You knew damn well when you saw her that you knew that she wasn't your type. You knew that she was never your type. And instead of, that's why you was over there in that other girl who is your type face, kikiing. And you tried to play this double side of the fence and thought people was going to buy it. And you was mad because everyone bought it except Hannah.
No, it's not. Like, I'm literally being mean to you. I don't understand what's going on. And so I think my frustration was like, what the fuck is going on? I just didn't know what was going on. And then when I found that note, I was just like, oh, okay, like, I see what this is for you. Doesn't mean that, like, maybe he went for the wrong reasons and he liked me and he wasn't expecting that. Maybe that's what happened. But, like, be so fucking for real. Like, that's not your reality.
And being one of her best friends, Marissa, you agree with that?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I mean, I have always had conflicting feelings between Nick and Hannah just because I did get to know him and I got to know him as like a really good person. But the things I was hearing, you know, about like her looks and how he was rating her and things like that, like it just makes you question, like, okay, was he serious about her?
When you say other people, do you mean other people in this room?
Yeah, I'm not the only one, and there's people on this couch who can also vouch.
Because those are fairly serious. Like if you're accusing him of saying things, you know, behind her back about her looks and etc. That's.
Yeah, I think if we need a fact check and get perspective, that was her.
Didn't like you say about my looks, like, was it with Ramses, maybe Garrett? I can't remember that he was like asking you guys straight what I looked like.
I never said that. I never said that.
Did that not happen?
If I'd like to tell my perspective,
you're gonna talk,
like, can I talk?
Honest, at least.
Yeah, of course. And Marissa, thanks for saying.
Whenever a man says, "Can I talk?" that means he's full of shit. Whenever a man says, "Can I talk?" that means you're correct. I need a minute to think of how to get out of this. That's what that means. They'll spend 10 minutes talking about, dang, I can't even get a word in. Do you mind? Can I talk? Dang. That's them stalling, thinking of, how do I get out of this? How do I avoid accountability? Nothing makes me laugh more than a man saying, can I talk? How to know you've won. The minute he say, dang, can I talk? Meaning, dang, so you're not buying my bullshit? Let me think of some different bullshit. Gotta be quicker than that, Nick. It's not giving what you thought, baby.
Was sincere off camera because that's how I was. And you dated me, and we dated each other pretty far in the process. There's a reason why you kept talking to me. There's a reason why.
I've back with Hannah multiple times off camera, and since the show's revealed.
Look, I understand you want.
Is it real though, Nick? Because how's it real? Because then, okay, we break up, whatever. The only time you've texted me this past couple years, like, are you gonna share the notes production?
No, I actually texted you 3 days ago.
You texted me 3 days ago after some girl's DMing me talking about how you're trying to fly her out for the reunion.
Oh,
what are you talking about?
Oh, the girls that you've been DMing, they're sending them to me.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've read them all. So don't act.
We're not.
I'm gonna speak.
You just because all of this is your perspective, and you're trying to shit on me for no reason. I never brought your looks up once. This whole thing is blown out of perspective. I never.
Do you know how psycho you have to be to know that you've been talking about someone behind their back, and then to get on camera in front of everyone and say, I never said anything about them, and play the victim? Do you know how psychotic you have to be, especially when that person easily has receipts and could really easily hit you with a this you moment? That is crazy to me, to get on there and be like, I never said anything, knowing you was dragging her for filth. Sir, that's how you know something is very wrong with Nick. Very wrong with him. That man said, I never said anything about her looks. That is insane. But he is about to get hit with a this you. This is about to be an epic this you. Just watch, y'all. Or listen, I should say.
Once mentioned Hannah's looks at all, right? You know, you said your
Are
piece.
y'all really gonna sit here and
That's not true.
Come on.
That's not true.
Ramses.
I talked to you about it.
You talked to Steven about it, but Steven talked to me about it.
I didn't
You
talk
have to
to
be
Steven
honest. You did. You said not nice things about the way Hannah looked.
I didn't
Hannah
say
has said shitty shit about you on camera and off camera, and you have also. So just take accountability.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Okay, so
Monica,
you said she looked like a
what
grenade.
did-
Or at least said she looked like a grenade.
I never said
You
that.
Yes,
told her
you
you
did.
I
rated
never
her
said that.
5 out of 10.
I never said that.
Yes, you
That's
did.
what you guys heard from this person and this person.
You're friends.
Yeah, okay.
Steven, I don't want to bring up bro code and any violation of bro code, but I mean, this is clearly sounds like it's gone through you. So did that happen? Yeah.
I mean, we've got to be honest. That's why I'm protective.
Hyundai! Coming on Honda! Tesla! Nick, this you, my boy. Nick, this you or what? Is this you, baby? Whoo, boy, he just knew bro code was gonna save him. Like, I never said nothing. He just knew his boys were gonna stay solid. Ramses and Stefan was like, listen, baby, we handle your scandal, baby. They already hate us for our own reasons. We ain't taking the L for you too. Steven said, yeah. Damn. Gotta be quicker than that. I know he was not. Steven said, yeah. Nick's face was like, oh man, come on, Nick. This ain't it, baby.
Of Hannah, because there was a lot of other things happening that clearly explains why she would feel insecure in her relationship and why she would feel frustrated. I mean, yeah, you said you talked about her looks in a very unkind way. When we were flying home from Mexico, you were the only one on the plane telling strangers, like, we're here to film a show. We're here to film. I mean, it was like,
he's telling the strangers, we're here to film a show, aka I'm not really with this girl. Like, I don't really like her. I'm just here for a show, y'all. I hope y'all don't actually think I'm over here with this linebacker. I know I played football, but baby, I played kicker. Okay, we know what you mean. Come on, man. Everyone can see it. Y'all, we here for a show, aka I'm not really with this girl for real. I'm embarrassed by her. Come on, keep it real.
it was hard to watch. It didn't seem like when Hannah found the note, Hannah reached out to me shortly after she found Nick's 3 goals. I think the same day. I was 0% surprised.
Yeah, we were
0% surprised.
It's just funny to hear, the woman kind of getting at me because I never talked to them once on the show. I never told Steven, how I felt about Hannah.
Steven, he just said he never talked to you about the grenade. Is that?
He talked to me about the grenade, but he didn't tell me about how he actually felt because again, we had only had the reveal.
But he
talked about the grenade.
He said she looks like a grenade.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is, like, as far as the rating scale goes, I specifically do not remember that conversation. But
There's people on the stage who do.
There's people on the stage who would have my back, that I'm a good.
At this moment, Ramses' silence is deafening. Ramses is literally sitting there like this. Please don't call on me. Please don't call on me. Please don't call on me. Ramses thought that if he just stood real still and was quiet, that no one would ask him the truth. And he ends up getting called out. Y'all got to see how stiff he is, just sitting there like, please don't ask me.
Guy, I was here for the right reason.
I personally feel like this conversation is extremely mature. I'm just counting the seconds till we move past it, to be honest.
Well, these are things that we do have to talk about. Like, it's uncomfortable, but we have to talk about them.
It's not that it's immature, Garrett. Like, Hannah's getting killed on the internet, right? Like, Hannah was a bitch to Nick. And I'm sorry for that. I'm like, as her best friend, I'm sorry that she was like that. And like, she should not. She's been mean to me before too. Like, she has room to grow.
I think that you guys are.
Yeah, I called Hannah out before.
It's not that it's all her. That it's her. It's her. It's not him. And he's this golden retriever puppy dog. You're not Nick. Okay.
Come
he's
on,
like mean
come
shit. He's
on.
not that. Ramses, he wants to sit there quietly. Go figure. Like, you know what he fucking said. You know what he said. And it's like, we're gonna be the bad people for attacking.
Right. Like,
I think you should ask the source. There's so many rumors that go on this show.
It's the I know exactly the
that's your
scenario where
truth.
you said
That's
it
your
because they
perspective,
told me.
and I have my perspective on it.
It's not perspective. It's okay, fine.
You saw the whole
They
show.
lied. They lied to me. It's fine.
You saw the whole thing.
All right, Alex, I see you uncomfortable there. Did you want to say something?
No, I'm fine. It's just kind of baffling because Nick, love you, but you did not like what Hannah looked like. And everybody knew that. It was very
who
clear.
did I have a conversation with that about?
We all knew it. You talked about it. So it's just kind of crazy.
Who did
that
I
you're
talk
sitting
about
here
it
saying that no,
Who
that's
did I
not
talk
true.
about it with?
All right, Nick.
If there's any moment to take accountability for anything, it's right now. Like everybody messed.
This Ramses talking. They don't call Ramses out. Ramses is like, listen, he pretty much is like, bro, just tell the truth. Like, you said it. That's why Ramses is like, just take accountability, aka you said it, just say it. Stop the gaslighting.
Up. Everybody says things that maybe you regret, but let's keep it 100, man. Like, things were said. Like, this is nothing. Like, it's not a dig against you, but like, it's this is the moment to take accountability. Like, we're not perfect.
Yeah, I said I was underwhelmed when I saw Hannah at the review. I never said she was a grenade.
Oh, now you're admitting that you said she was underwhelmed. Sir, go to hell. You full of shit. Exactly. Anyway, We clocked him. We knew he was full of it. Let's move on. Okay, next. All right, next on the chopping block is Leo, and what's her name? Britney. All right, listen, I'm sorry, but there is something very wrong with Leo. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't tell exactly what it is. I can't tell if he is either a functioning autistic or a complete psychopath. I'm not going to hold you. He has such psychopathic actions and mannerisms, but it also could be that he on the spectrum of autism. I don't know, but our mental health crisis here in this country is astounding. When people can clearly have something wrong with them and everyone just contributes to something minuscule. I don't get it. This man has serious issues. Y'all can go back and watch the episode with him and Hannah where this man was grabbing the pillows. Like as he was talking, he's berating Hannah and he's like grabbing this pillow and grabbing the stools. And I'm like, this, he's like, do you love me? Tell me you love me. Don't say it if you don't mean it. This is the type of man who, where you go around and feel pressure into saying, oh, I love you. And if in his mind, he think you was making that up 100% the way he was holding that pillow and holding that ottoman. He is the type, he'll be having his hands around your neck like, I told you not to say it if you didn't mean it. This man is nuts. And he's actually a huge liability to have on the show, okay? I feel like Britney is doing a comply or die type of move where she's low-key scared of him. So she's trying to like comfort him and make him think that she doesn't like this. Like here on the reunion, she mentions like, oh no, we're cool, we're fine. Britney, y'all are not cool and not fine, okay? And I'm gonna let y'all hear some of how he talks so y'all can kind of see what I'm talking about, that there's something wrong with him. And then she's going to reveal like why they didn't work out on their vacation. And that was the nail in the coffin for me to know, oh yeah, there's something very wrong with this man. Let's let them talk for a second.
Hi, Britney. How are you? Hi, Leo.
Hi.
Leo, I'm just going to go right into it. You had a lot of conversations in the pods, but in watching it back, did you ever realize how often you spoke about money?
I know it seemed like I really couldn't shut up about it. We were encouraged to talk about all aspects of marriage, including finances. And I think I overcooked it a little bit with the money talk. Yeah, I didn't realize until I was watching it back.
Talking about finances with marriage is having conversations like how much will we put aside for savings, life insurance, retirement, who will pay the monthly mortgage, rent. Those are marital financial conversations. You running around saying, hey, my whole family died and they left me a ton of money and now I am super rich, but oh my God, I do not want a woman that wants me for my money. Hey, I'm super rich, but hey, I do need a woman to financially contribute some way here so I don't feel like I'm getting used. Like you literally gave us an in-depth explanation for how rich you were. And then I'm like, so your whole family dies and leaves you money that you now talk about all the time. You a psychopath. It's giving, nigga, did you kill the whole family? Because it's giving me those vibes. Y'all need to investigate Leo and the mysterious sudden death of all of his family members. All right. And how you the only one that survived. All right. We need to FBI investigate Leo. Y'all need to investigate Leo. I thought this man was slowly poisoning all his family members to inherit their fortune. I do. And that's why now that's all he talks about. But in the same breath, resents any woman who will want him for the money. There's something off about Buddy here. And you're about to hear as he explains his behavior, he's going to refer to himself in third person. So he disassociates the negative behaviors that he exhibits. Clock it.
when I was watching, I thought, geez, this Leo guy won't shut up about it. So I
Geez, this Leo guy won't shut up about it. Sir, you are the guy. What do you mean? You see how he took himself outside of himself? People that do bad things, that's what they do. They'll be like, oh, I don't know what was up with that guy. That was you, sir. Why are you doing this third person reference like, oh, that Leo guy, I don't know what was up with him. That was you. But they don't know how to accept, like, yes, I took those actions. They completely disassociate from it.
if I could do it over again, I wouldn't have led with that so much, because I wish that they could have gotten to know me more than just, you know, what I do and the money I have, because that's so low on the list of like how I see myself.
Well, you did spend a lot of time in the lounge with the guys. You guys all, you know, got really close, which is another thing we love. There's a brotherhood and a sisterhood that exists that nobody will ever know except for all of you. But you guys, in talking with Leo, what was your takeaway from every time he would come in, whether it was trying on his Rolex or just hearing his stories? You're laughing too.
Yeah, I'll talk. Man, Leo's a misunderstood guy.
Shut up. We don't want to hear it. Here they go trying to take up for him. We're going to move right along. Anyway, I don't want to see nothing else about them. Leo, you're a psychopath, or you're autistic, or you're an autistic psychopath. You need to get help. I would love to see an autopsy and a thorough investigation done into how every one of your family died all of a sudden except for you. And that's all I got to say about that. Britney, stop trying to be nice to this guy because you're scared of him and because you want to make him feel comfortable because he's super pushy. You need to cut all contact with him and leave him alone. And that's all I got to say about that. Moving along. Okay, I lied. I forgot I wanted us to talk about the traveling weird behavior he has. We're going to hear this and then we're going to move on. Here we go.
Very, very close. But traveling together, you know, there's just some quirks that you realize you're not compatible with long term or in a romantic way. For example, he's going to kill me, but he would, whenever we had a drink, he would take a sip of my drink, no matter what it was. We would have the same martini and he would just take a sip of mine. And I'm like, Leo, you have your own. But
why were you taking drinks out of her drink?
I don't know. I can't help myself.
You can't help yourself. You're autistic. It's one of your autistic icks, like one of your autistic, like, impulsive things. I don't know the correct term for it. That's what it is. Sorry, you're on the spectrum. I don't understand this. Like, there's something, come on. What a weirdo. Every drink they have, he is just compelled to take something from it. It's because you're a serial killer. Okay. It's because you have a hatred for women that you even think are around you because you just swear they're all after your money. So you're like, I got to take some from this girl. The same way you claimed you were so rich, yet you would still want your woman to financially contribute to the household. That's super weird. If you have this ultra surplus of money, why is it, no, but she need to pay for something? That's super weird behavior. You're a psychopath. You hate people. You especially hate women. And that is your way of spitting in their drink. No pun intended. Okay, now we're really moving on. For real this time, I swear. So now we get into Stephen and Monica. Let us just say a prayer right now. I don't want to spend too much time on them either because I frankly don't care. But Stephen is also an example of a man that you should never even waste your time going back and forth with. Because, you know, if y'all didn't see this season, he left this woman home alone all night, talk about he was at a sleep study. And then the next day, she looks at his phone and he was texting different, you know, texting some woman about something sexual based. So they end up, and it was so funny, you know, once again, how men try to get rid of you when they're not interested. One of the ways is by purposely getting caught cheating. So she's like, oh, I saw the text of the girl. This man, I shit y'all not, was like, oh, dang, you caught me. Well, I guess it's over. I'll just go ahead and pack my stuff and I'll go. He wanted out. You know, I don't know when women will understand. Most men will just not say, hey, it's over. I don't want to be here. They'll purposely get caught cheating. They'll make a bunch of excuses. Don't even entertain it. So now we're about to see his explanation of the text, I guess.
We are all dying to know what exactly was in those sleep test results.
In the sleep test results?
Yeah.
I have sleep apnea.
Yeah. Are you on the CPAP?
No, I got cleared for one, but unfortunately,
Steven, tell us what was in the text.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know they're pretty juicy. I don't remember. I really don't. I deleted them.
So during a sleep study test, there were DMs sent. Let's get to the thick of this here.
For the respect of the individual, I'm not going to go too deep into it because they don't need to be brought into.
Well, you shouldn't have done it on a reality show.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely.
Well, why you don't argue with them? Do you see how he's trying to make himself this noble person in this? Out of the respect for the person involved, I won't disclose the details. We don't know that person that was involved. You can tell us what that text said. Once again, you're running from the account. I would not even entertain him. I would be anyway. You got to be completely indifferent to men like this. There's no point. I'm not even going back and forth with you no more. Sitting here and talk about something out of the respect for the individual. I won't say what was said. Man, go away, please.
Yeah, that ship has sailed.
I take full responsibility.
You respect that individual, but you certainly didn't have respect for me in that moment. So
That's what it was. I take full responsibility for my fuck up. Me and Monica even talked about this off camera. We had a date 2 weeks after we talked about it too, to sort of.
It wasn't a date.
Situation.
We went to dinner.
Well, sorry, we met up for dinner. I apologize. Yeah. I apologize. We met up for dinner. We talked about this. I even wrote a letter to her parents apologizing for my actions.
But did you write that letter so you could say that to everyone today?
No, I wrote that.
Wow, really?
No, I wrote that letter because I feel bad about the situation. And it was a mistake that I now have to live with for the rest of the
you would bring that up. It's like as soon as you had the chance to. As soon as I got that letter, I was like, he's doing this so he can say it at the reunion.
I apologize. That wasn't my intention, but if that's how it came off, I do apologize.
Okay.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you can't trust me, then there's nothing that I can say that'll change anybody's mind. So nobody's really.
Boy, if this don't teach you to not argue with niggas, I don't know what will, child. Men who actually give a fuck, they don't never present these problems. They're gonna try to find a solution. Them men that keep you in a cycle of going round and round, playing a victim, don't argue. Just disengage. Leave it alone. You cannot save a nigga. Okay, this man talking about not him hitting her with the, well, if you don't trust me, well, shut your boy, man. If you don't, it's yo. Man, get out of here. Oh, well, if you don't trust me, sir, stop. You were literally texting a woman. Let me let him finish before I get the rest of my commentary.
To listen to me from the beginning.
I want to hear.
I understand that. I'd love to tell it. But to be honest, I don't think anybody believes me, wants to hear. So at the end of the day, why should I?
Oh,
Nobody wants to believe me.
God.
Nobody cares about my side of the story. I acknowledge 100% that I messed up. I've done everything that I thought I could do. I talked to my parents. I asked them what I should do. I've done what I'm supposed to do. I've read books. I go to therapy. I do all these things. At the end of the day, nobody cares. No, because if they did, we wouldn't be here right now having more accusations about something that we squashed a year ago. But I understand that I completely fucked up. At how much more responsibility do I have to take? I had a moment of weakness where somebody texted me and they were talking about a heart condition. And then immediately after that, they go into, so I've gone into some interesting fetishes lately, understanding that this is probably a reaction or a conversation that I should not entertain. I was still curious how you made this jump. So I said, what kind of fetishes? And then I entertained that. Yeah, I entertained that conversation and I knew I shouldn't. And then I put my phone down in the sleep study and I said, you know what? I've done this before. I know where it ends. This is the man I don't want to be. But I never deleted it because to me, I emotionally conquered a demon that I've been fighting for a while.
We have a picture. He was at a sleep study. So that part is true.
Yeah.
This was from that night.
Yeah.
Y'all, you cannot make this up. Okay. I don't know if you all will be able to see the picture. But can y'all see this? This man done got in the woman's bed, put some DVD cord, remote cords, DVD cords, DVD player cords, and cable cords. He done laid in her bed. He done sat, put a bunch of DVD player cords, and a bunch of Wi-Fi modem cords over himself like this, put some tape on it, and took a picture like this, talk about, see, I was at the sleep study. who is entertaining this? I would not say anything to him. I would just, when he just gave us that whole spiel, this is like satire to me. The person was texting me about a heart condition. None of y'all trust me or believe me. She was telling me about how her heart had a condition. It wasn't my fault. So I had to check on her and make sure she was all right. So I said, hey, is your heart okay? And she says, yeah. By the way, can you fuck me in the ass? And I was like, well, when? And I didn't delete it because I conquered a demon. You're welcome. This is a joke. I would have been sitting there like, wow, this is so interesting. I'm like, so anyway, I'm about to leave. That would have been my reaction. I would literally, who is that? Man, please. This is a joke. This has to be a joke. So anyway, moving right along from him. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what else to say about that. Like, moving along. This is a joke. Bye. Let's keep going. Okay, so last up, we have Alex and Tim. I just did a whole previous video on them, so I'm not going to really go too far into it. But there was a few updates that happened after the reunion. Now, for them, I am not going to be putting their photo up. Instead, I'm going to be putting this clip of Tim getting his coat and leaving as Alex sit there and stuffs French fries in her mouth, because this is her future, sitting there by yourself eating while men sleep with you and leave. This is her future for forever. There was a few bits of tea that were dropped in the reunion that I did not know during my video yesterday that I want to touch on. So I'm gonna let a little bit of this segment play and give y'all some of the updates after we got this extra information.
On the getaways was so bad that he almost left early. Can you shed any more light on what we didn't get to see on camera?
What you didn't get to see was a verbal disagreement. As you saw, I'm very close to my family, and my dad had been admitted to a rehab facility a week before I left. And being 3 weeks not talking to them, it just kind of weighed in on me at that moment. And I just wanted space. Go to bed, take a shower, go to bed. That's literally all I wanted to do. But unfortunately, I wasn't given the space that I was wanting, which turned into a disagreement. Simple as that.
Tim.
First and foremost, like I don't want it to come across like there's any actual animosity here. Like, I still wish her the best. There's a reason I fell in love with this woman, and I acknowledge all the beautiful things about that. My version of events, she had left before me, the pool party, so I'm trying to catch her, but I could tell she's upset. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, this is my fiance. I want to be there for her. So I approach her, I'm saying, hey, are you okay? What's going on? We're in this hotel bathroom. Everything's been good to this point for me. And you're crying on the floor. So I'm trying to be there for you. I understood that she was upset about something with her family, but I'm also trying to understand, because at the same time, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. So it quickly turns contentious. And it got to the point where, yes, I did feel like things got out of hand from a boundary standpoint, to where, yes, what happened with the hand being put over my mouth was put over my mouth. Yes, I was called something other than the name that I was given on this earth. I know the medium that I'm on. I know that I'm a 225, 6-foot black man. I don't want to get portrayed as this angry person to where we are fighting and squabbling it out on camera and understanding there's producers outside the door, et cetera, et cetera. But also, if I'm talking to someone I love, y'all hear it in my voice right now. I can't be quiet. Ask me if I'm not here to, I don't force my opinion on anybody, but don't ask me what I think unless you want to know. Whatever partner I have in this world, I'm hoping that they understand that about me. I took everything with this process and how I felt about her so seriously from the jump. And I don't want it to come across because things ended how it did. There wasn't something beautiful about what connected us. I hate the fact that our worst moment is the moment everybody wants to hear about the most.
I will say, I think you are definitely looking at it in a magnifying glass, every single one of you. I know right now it feels like the world's coming down on you.
So let me get this straight. Alex tried to paint Tim out to be this smothering, controlling guy that wouldn't leave her alone. And the part that you didn't tell us is hey, by the way, I was having a mental breakdown, hysterically crying in a hotel bathroom floor. And in your mind, you thought that you could have a mental breakdown on a hotel bathroom floor and that your fiance should be like, oh, leave you alone? All right, cool. Just let me know when you're done with the breakdown. As a man, when he is in charge of your well-being and you're hysterical on a bathroom floor, and you got mad at him because he didn't leave you there to die on the floor. See why you can't save hoes? See why some women, it just ain't in them. You got to leave them alone. It's a walking liability. You don't painted this man out to be this horrible person. We didn't know you was on a bathroom floor, sis. Come on now, be so for real. What man finna leave you like that? See why you can't save hoes? Let's keep going though. This honestly blew my mind. And you thought that this grown man was finna let his fiance sit there and have a mental breakdown on the floor of the goddamn La Quinta Inn. Stop it.
You individually. I know it's hard to see outside of the box. Trust me when I tell you, I know. But I think the reason that people do go to that fight, because A, we didn't see it. So
we don't give a damn what you got to say, Vanessa.
Check that.
Very clear. Nothing on my end was physically assaulting him. And
yeah,
I'll agree with that.
I'll attest that.
I'm literally put in a position where I'm trying to prevent production to come and see this fight, like this argument that we're having. And I don't want it to look like we're in a bad space or that I don't want cameras to come and make him look bad. Simple as that.
Oh, stop. If you didn't want cameras to make him look bad, you would have got your big grown walrus wombat looking ass up and act like you had some sense and go into the privacy of a room or a bedroom and wipe your tears. You would not be sitting there trying to fight this man to leave you having a mental breakdown on a bathroom floor. And like he said, as a big black man. Now, I do want to make this correction because in my previous video, I did state that she put her hands on him. That was what was told to us prior. Once we got the clarity, apparently what she did instead was a motion to him, like to put her hand over his mouth, saying that the hand did not connect with his mouth, but she did like a move like that. But I'm going to tell you all right now, your partner, even looking like they are thinking about putting their hand on you or touching you, they might as well have put their hand on you. So I'm not quite sure why she wanted to clear that up because, honey, whether you physically put your hand on his mouth or whether you even did like that, it's the same. Same with a woman. A man does not have to actually knock you in the head for it to be wrong. He can ball his fist up. He can get in your face. He can act like he's going to hit you. It's still bad. So, and you still call this man the B word. The B word is an exit word. Once you call your partner the B word, that means we're done. There is no calling your man a B and be like, oh, we'll just work through it. No, the B word, it's over. Okay, so she's trying to like justify it, but I'm not quite sure the justification because nothing you're saying is making this any better. Okay.
That I was trying to protect him. I just wanted to de-escalate this entire situation so that we could just go to sleep and revisit it in the morning. But now it's turned into an assault thing, which it wasn't.
Well, clearly, if you did, he would.
You guys clear for everyone watching. There was no assault.
Yeah,
it wasn't assault, but I reject you saying that I yelled at you. My voice carries. I was asking you what's going on.
Production had to come in and calm you down.
You were very upset. They had to come in. I was upset
you were
after
yelling.
you touched me. I'm not saying this to be shady. I was more offended at being called outside of my name.
What did you call him other than his name?
Well, because he was disrespecting me for like over an hour. I said, you're acting like a little ass bitch. And
that's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's just how I felt.
It's crazy that why would you say that to any grown man out here trying to love you?
Hello.
And it was crazy how you belittled me the way that you did.
Y'all asked men to take you seriously, and why would you belittle me?
So why are you got your finger in my face and yelling at me because I don't want to talk to you because I'm upset about my father? Had nothing to do with you at all. I literally just wanted to take a shower and go to bed. And that.
Let me tell you something. This is where most women go wrong. They have something else that is affecting them emotionally. And unfortunately, they end up slandering, getting violent, taking it out on the person that is closest to them and they trust the most. Whether you are single in a relationship, it does not matter. You are a grown adult. Your emotions are your responsibility. Okay. Them women who be like, I was just acting that because I was stressed out about this. Oh, I just said that because of my dad. Nobody cares. You're a grown adult, baby. Regulate your own emotions. Stop bleeding on other people. Honey, we all got problems. All right. I saw people saying, oh, she's probably depressed. It doesn't matter. All right. This is why relationships are hard, because you don't get to say, oh, I'm stressed or depressed about my dad and check out of your relationship. Stop completing your duties. It doesn't work that way. So her saying, I was upset about my dad, bitch, he probably upset about his sisters. He's probably upset about things too. You do not get to say, oh, I'm upset because this person did this, so I'm going to take it out on you. It doesn't work that way. And women who do that, you got to stay away from, because they're pretty much, it's a ticking time bomb where in your mind, if you're disappointed or stressed out about something else, it gives you the right to hurt people who are closest to you. But let's let her continue to not make any sense.
And that wasn't good enough.
And you didn't say that once.
It's never good enough. It's always what you want. But when you want space, it's okay. But when I wanted space, it wasn't good enough, right? Let's remember that. It's always on your terms, Tim. Never mind. I never get a word in. You just talk for like 10 minutes in circles. You literally are so long-winded and only listen to yourself.
Hey, I'm literally being berated here. I'm just trying to speak my truth. So I can't speak my truth without apparently yelling at you and get called a bitch. Ooh. Come on, man.
Don't try to spin it like somebody's trying to make you like that, because I try to protect you throughout our entire relationship, which is why you look amazing.
Like, why are you trying to come for me when all I'm doing is showing you love? Why the attitude? Why? What did I do? What did I do to you?
Okay.
Well, look, I think it's safe to say that he felt disrespected in that moment. And
what you did to her, Tim, is she's a spoiled, entitled daddy's girl who never had to actually be a good person or have her shit together for her father to validate her. What you did to her is you gave her expectations. You gave her boundaries, something she's never experienced from man. She's used to her daddy telling her that she's daddy's perfect little princess, regardless of how terrible she is. What you did, Tim, is you gave her something she had to work towards. Okay. You gave her responsibility. That's why she interprets him as a bad person. What do you mean? I have to work for and earn what I want from you, huh? That's literally all that is. That's what you did, Tim. That's why you need to stop trying to say these hoes.
I think another moment we all saw where you felt disrespected is when you took a nap when his parents came to visit. Mm-hmm. Looking back on that, why did you decide to take a nap, knowing his parents had driven all that way to see and spend time with you? And do you regret maybe some of the ways you handled that day?
So what unfortunately wasn't shown is I work so much. I work in fashion, I bartend, and that night I had to bartend for the first time. We were with his parents at like 11 a.m. until about 7 p.m. And I had to work at 9 p.m. at the bar till 3 a.m. And I simply wanted a nap after we had lunch. We talked for like 4 or 5 hours. And I literally just wanted 1 hour nap before I go into work. That's all it was. It was the only time that I actually bartended during our entire relationship.
Okay.
It was the only time I bartended throughout our entire relationship. Girl, go lay down. So let me get this straight. The one time that you woke up and was like, you know what, I'm gonna be a bartender today, was the day his parents came. So do you see how women like this are very passive aggressive, in which they will never directly disrespect you. They will create other avenues to inadvertently disrespect you. So you wanted to undermine and disrespect that man's family. So you literally were like, hey, out of all the days you've been dating this man for 3 months, out of all the days, I'm going to be a bartender tonight. I just decided, hey, it's my first time being a bartender and I'm going to do it the day your parents come. Bitch, PTO, take off, start later. You did that on purpose, ma'am, just so you could do what you're doing right now, which is throw rocks and hide your hands and say, oh my God, I had to take a nap. I had to bartend. You don't wait until you're getting married, you're meeting your in-laws to suddenly decide that you're going to take up a second job and be a bartender. Stop it. Just stop it.
Well, Tim, I know I speak for a lot of us who watched it on this stage when I say that one of the most touching moments in the entire season was watching you ask Alex's father for his blessing. And a lot of us are also having a hard time understanding how you did that, but then called it quits a few days later.
The engagement ended because I felt like the level of respect that I was given wasn't being given in return. Every day in this process feels like a week. What we bonded over most was how much we love our family. The entire time we met, she wanted me to show her father some respect and love, and I wanted to respect and love my fiance. So she asked me, and I showed up for her family because I thought this was going to be my family. I was trying to give this my all because I loved this woman, and I meant that. I felt like when it was my turn, it wasn't returned. And she said she has to work, which is fine. I get it. Everybody makes a living. She didn't mention that she was in the club till 4 a.m. the night before. She didn't mention that the day after that, she didn't text me till 10 a.m. And the day I tried to warn her about her flat tire, she caught a flat tire, even though I tried to tell her about her prior tire pressure. I'm trying to show love all day. And you wait until the afternoon to try to speak to me. When you say we always have to talk on your terms, I've been waiting all day to hear from you. You didn't even let me know you made it home. And you're supposed to be my fiance. So I'm not even worried about accountability. I'm just worried about your safety.
Okay, Alex, you were while he was talking.
And there it is. And that's all she's good for. There it go. So you mean to tell me the day before you're about to meet your future in-laws for the first time, you decide to go clubbing until 4 a.m. So you decide to disappear all night and have the person you're about to marry not hear from you until 10 a.m. the next day. And this is why certain women, they're just not cut out to be a wife. Leave them where they're at. This is all Alex is good for. I'm gonna be honest with you. She's not even good enough for side chick purgatory, because even for a woman to be an actual side chick to a man, it still requires her to have some level of relationship skills. Alex is quite literally exactly what she did. She is a 4 a.m. after the club fuck. That is all she will ever be. Okay. Exactly. If you get it ready to introduce this woman to your parents to marry her, and she decides to disappear until 10 a.m. the next day, that is all she's ever going to be, Tim. Okay. The minute that she disappeared and didn't call you till 10 a.m. the next day, that should have been where you was like, you should even have let her meet your parents going forward. So you stay out till 4 a.m. You don't contact your fiance till 10 a.m. the next day. Then that day, when you meet his parents, you say, I'm tired, but you're tired from clubbing until 4 a.m. and getting fucked after the club until 10 a.m. Wow. And then how are people not understand? They keep saying, well, Tim, why did you ask her father? Why did you be with her father if you weren't sure? What part of her disrespecting and undermining her family was the nail in the coffin? Are y'all not understanding? What part of I was willing to give her grace on the fact that she fat, bad attitude, can't cook, dirty, disrespectful. I was willing to look past that if she, because I felt like we both valued family. So I went and hosted her family. And then when my family came, she was like, all right, this has been cool for a few hours, but I'm gonna take a nap. Peace out, y'all. How do people, and so once he saw that, that was his deciding factor of, I cannot marry this woman. What part about that is so hard for people to understand? Stop thinking that because someone met your parents or because they met your sister, but who gives a fuck? If they see any behavior outside of that, he is saying, I can't see that in my wife, he's not wrong for leaving. I don't give a damn if I talk to your daddy. Fuck your daddy. Your daddy the reason why you came out this way. So fuck him too. How are people not understanding that? You know why? Because the real problem is you all hate to see a black man from a good family know his value and worth and set standards and boundaries. That's what it really is. Let's talk about the real problem. Y'all want Tim to be a pookie from a horrible family so bad. Y'all hate Tim is fine, come from a good family, well-spoken, respectful. And it kills y'all to see a black man have standards like that. That's the real problem. There's no way y'all don't see how this happened. There's no way y'all don't see the real problem. The real problem is you are just baffled at a Black man setting standards. Tim, my only problem with you is that you ain't do this sooner. That's all I say about that. Well, anyway, this is going on about almost 2 hours. I'm so long-winded. I didn't even realize the Virgo in me. That's what I think is so funny. Maybe that's why I understand Tim so much, me being a Virgo too, because period. Everyone was like, oh, Tim expected her to read his mind. Bitch, when you get married, it is your responsibility to educate yourself on how to be a wife or a husband. Okay. This man should not, it's not about expecting her to read his mind. It's that if you just give half of a fuck, then common sense would say if your in-laws are coming, to make sure they have some food, make sure they have what they need and to host them. No, I'm not about to tell you that. A Virgo will 100%, we will study our roles so much that we will expect you to do the same. And no, we will not explain the most obvious things to you. Virgos hate explaining the obvious. This girl told him, how was I supposed to know you wanted a response back to your text messages? Are you serious? That's probably the quickest way to lose a Virgo. And like a true Virgo, he was like, well, I never want to see you again. One thing a Virgo gonna do is say they never want to see you again and mean it. Boy, that's why, honey, I'm a Virgo and I would never date a Virgo because you ain't gonna wake up one day and be disgusted by me. Y'all, Tim, listen, your only mistake was you did not leave sooner and you entertained her for way too long. Let us all just bow our heads and say a prayer for this season of Love is Blind, because it is showing more and more what this dating pool is made of, and it is not looking good out there. Let's all just say a prayer. Y'all, please let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel, like the video, and I will see y'all on the next one.